Good afternoon, everyone. Philip from Blackpool Markets here. I hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick video. It's end of the week for us here in New Zealand, so it's around about Thursday for everyone else in the world. So this is the end of our trading week, last day for us. So just a quick market update just to show you guys what we are looking at for end of this week and also for early next week, and sort of moves or roundabout areas we'll be looking for support or resistance or potential targets for next week. Also do keep in mind, guys, it is the NFP tonight, so tomorrow, so please just do be wary of that. Make sure you handle your risk really well, and just try not to be too irrational when you are trading the NFP today. So but we'll get into this. This is a quick market update for you guys, and we've got a lot of pairs to get through, so let's dive straight into it. So the first one we're looking at is the Aussie CAD. This is on the 4-hourly time frame. I'll move it to the daily so you guys can see what I'm actually looking at. So we actually have had a big downwards trends. Moving to the weekly, you can see we are reaching a yearly low since 2015. You can see it has completely gone past that. It has opened up with a gap in the start of the week, and we are looking at this big red bearish candle to the downside. So if it does close beyond that, we can see potential moves further to the downside. You can see we do have it is actually a very, very strong support area. So it does look like it has gone past it. I mean, there is a stop along the way around about 0.87 or 0.88. So also keep that one in mind. But I mean, there is nothing else stopping it. So we could see a potential bounce to the upside as this is a very strong support. Or if it does break, also look for very strong moves to the downside as well. And then moving on to the Aussie yen. Here we have it on the daily time frame. So I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but we actually have a head and shoulders here. So we're moving to our left shoulder, coming up to the head. Here's our neckline. We have a bit of a skew neckline over here, but that's all right. As long as we have the strong bases of the pattern, we can see this is our potential right shoulder at the moment. So we do still have, it can still come down all the way to this area over here. For it to be valid, might even be able to go past it, but we are looking at this for a head and shoulder. So we got coming down left shoulder, up to the neckline, to the head, back to the neckline, and then the right shoulder. So this is a daily time frame for the Aussie yen. And then moving on to the Aussie US dollar. Here you can see it has broken a low we've got here on the 4-hourly bar chart. So we can see a potential move to the downside. Keeping in mind on the daily, or even the weekly as well, you can see it is moving inside of a channel at the moment. So do look for areas for it to bounce on along this sort of trend line that we have put here. So you can see it is moving quite nicely, and if it's done it a couple of times, so the chances are it will continue to move within the borders of this channel. But if it does break, look for potential strong moves in the direction of the break as well. So it could bounce and then also break further to the upside as well, finishing this long-term downtrend we've had since February this year. And then moving on to our Brent. So we've done a quite in-depth detail of this. I did a video on this earlier this week as well. It has reached, again, all-time highs, reaching to $86, I believe. Yes, $86 a barrel. So it has gone quite high. So I mean, in my previous videos, I mentioned we were looking at potential moves to 100 after some potential corrections as well. But for the time being, finishing this wave, if you guys can see, if you are familiar with the Elliott wave, you can see I have put in the labels here. So if we do use we can just move to the 4-hour charts using our Fibonacci to measure waves 1 and then coming down to wave 2. You can see we have potential targets of wave 3 being around 161.8% of wave 1. If it does extend, look for potential moves to the 200 level, and obviously the Fibonacci ratios continuing up in that level as well. So you can see a 232.8 and 261.8 as well. If it does go past that, we can look for 300 or even 400 as well, because that is commodity. So usually these things do end in fear or greed. So we can see the last move to be strong. And then moving on to our Swiss franc Japanese yen. You can see this is just moving in a channel. We have had a previous support area or resistance to support, but it does look like it has gone past. I mean, this whole section over here can still offer strong areas of support. So we can even look at this for a potential future setup for a head and shoulders, offering this over here as the neckline. I'll just move this, it's a bit messy. There we go. So you can see this can be the potential neckline for it to move up to, and then finishing the shoulders. So make it a bit easier for you guys to understand what I'm trying to say, is we have our left shoulder moving down to the neckline, going up to the head, coming down again to the neckline, and moving up to the right shoulder, completing a pattern here, and then depending, can move further down. So this is a strong support area, so do look for support in it. You know, again, chances are it's going to keep moving in this channel until it does break. If it does not break, look for potential areas to this support area, which is around about 103.755. I have it about on my chart over here. And then moving on to our Bitcoin. So again, we'll go through all the cryptocurrencies as well. So you can see Bitcoin is still consolidating inside of this channel we have drawn. It has given us a false breakout previously before and here as well. You can see slight breakouts here if you were to look on the hourly time frame. Could have potentially entered on trades, and then obviously you need to manage your risk as well. But on the longer time frame, you can see we have on the daily, it's still moving inside of this flat bottom triangle. So like I said, we could in my previous videos, we can see moves coming all the way down to the very end of this triangle and before it breaks out, and even then we could see some consolidation. So if it does break out, we could see strong moves that in either direction, as that is what does usually happen. But if that doesn't happen, just make sure to manage your risk quite well. And then also, again, now we're looking at our Dash coin. So this is the next one we have. As you can see, it has moved on this triangle we have drawn previously. You can see it has broken through it. So you could have had a trade maybe on the close of that candle and now being in the green. So at the moment, there's not really, in my opinion, I would not really look for any trades at the moment or any moves at the moment. I would wait for it to bounce off of either one of these or break through either one of these support areas before looking at something to happen. So this one can actually be drawn all the way up to here, where the space of those candles. So you can see this is a nice strong support. If it does break past, do keep in mind we have had this previous supports down here offering a nice double bottom as well, and then we have this strong again, we have got this strong sort of trend line over here. So we can even see this as a flat bottom triangle forming as well. So that could be a potential pattern to look for in this case too. And then moving on to our Ethereum. So Ethereum, you can see, is still moving inside this channel. We have again that bounce. So we could see if it does move up to this area, there is a chance it won't reach this channel. If it does, this, like I said, you can see this has offered previous support, and now it could offer resistance, as it has already in this case over here. So just be wary of that. If it does break, you can look for a nice move to the downside, keeping in mind this low we have had that can offer support as well for a potential double bottom, for a trade to the upside, or if it does break, a potential trade to the downside. We do also have a very strong downtrend, so keep all these things in mind when you do take a trade or do place your trade. You want to put as many odds in your favor as you can. And then moving on to our Litecoin. So this is going to be the last cryptocurrency we're looking at. You can see as well, it's broken out of a channel. Maybe it looks like we have here on the 30-minute. It is sort of forming inside of potential channel as well. So we'll just keep an eye on that. More or less, we had a couple of bad breakouts or false breakouts. So, but in the long run, you can see it has broken through this channel. It has found support where we have had it here previously. So at the moment, not really a lot. Like I said, going to the downside, we can see there is a lot of stops along the way. So just be wary of those if you do enter a trade to the short. Look for potential exits on these levels. And then if you look to the long side on one of these bounces, keeping in mind we have, again, if you go to the upside, we have got all these areas over here to offer resistance, and then obviously our stronger resistance up here. And then we will move on to our, back to the currencies. We're going to go to the Euro Yen. Just moving in a channel, so trades either to the up or to the downside. We have had a nice double bottom over here, which if you did catch this was quite nice, with almost a tweezer bottom here. And then you can see it has made a very big engulfing candlestick pattern to the upside to continue inside of this channel. So if it break either side, look for moves in either direction, and also keeping in mind, as you just saw, we have got quite a big downtrend, but it is a correction, so we do actually have a support here as well. So this is a very good area. You can see it's a very strong area. We've had resistance, offered a bit of consolidation, and then again support on these two areas over here. So do keep that in mind as well. And you can see the big time all over trend for this over here is to the upside. We do have, however, on the daily a bit of a sideways movement. So yeah, but I mean at this stage this is looking good. So we got the channel and the support area as well. Moving on to our pound and Aussie dollar. So quite a few pairs to get through. We're almost there. So just bear with me. We have this broken double top here. So this could be a potential good trade to the top side. Keeping in mind we do have a very strong on the daily time frame. You can see we have a very strong resistance area. So just keep that in mind. It's on the 4-hourly chart. You can see it looks like a good long position. On the daily chart, looks like a good short position. So just be wary when you do take your trades to put your stop losses, or if you're not using a stop loss, your mental stop loss on a level where you will get out the market if the market decides to turn against you, as you want to eliminate the risk. And then moving on to our pound Kiwi. There it is. So you can see again similar pattern to our pound Aussie. They do tend to run in tandem. So you can see here on the 4-hourly chart of the pound Aussie, and then moving to the 4-hourly chart of the pound Kiwi, they look quite similar. Again, broken top, and then on the weekly, not so similar. So you can see the pound Kiwi has actually been in a sort of a strong up. I wouldn't say strong uptrend, but it is moving upwards. You can see it has broken past previous highs. Did sort of come back as a retest. Could have given a false breakout if you were looking for a more long-term trade. But usually in this case, people would have put their stop losses down here once it did break to the top. So you would still be in the good at the moment. So look for potential trades in either direction as well. It could still come back down like it has previously over there. You can see. So just do be wary. Usually in my experience, I have found big candles like that usually tend to get retraced, as you can see in previous times. You can see big candles to the downside, and then it does get to retraced. Also, this does happen in gaps as well. So onto the Kiwi Swiss franc. You can see we've had this bounce on a sort of I call this a break and a bounce. You can see we've had our support area over here. We've had a break of the support and a retracement to the bounce, turning into a resistance, and again to the downside. What we can look for a move to the potential here. You can see it has on the 4-hour chart. It was sort of a double bottom as well. So if this was actually could have been a quite nice play. If you enter this as a double bottom on that engulfing pattern over there, you can see we've got a sort of a dragonfly doji, I would say, moving up, and you could have placed your take profit along that area over here, and you can see that would have been a very nice trade if you were to catch that one. So do look for maybe continuation trades inside of this, as it could offer a consolidation area as well. Moving on to the USD CAD. There it is. So you can see this is what I was just talking to you about before. So here you can see we've had a gap, and it has been filled by two strong candles. So you can see it actually started a little bit down here. So you can see 3 candles to fill this big gap. So like I said, gaps tend to get filled. So just be aware of that. A lot of people sort of panic because of fear of missing out. They will see this big gap to the downside, and they see this green candle, they would panic, and they would enter the trade to the downside. And you can see it has made this big wick. People again would then, same person, because they got that panic sort of mentality, they would close their trade because they see this big retracement. And so if I see a gap, I'd wait until the market sorts itself out before I start to look for potential trades. And also I found that gaps do offer a sort of area of support or consolidation. You can see it as a here where the gap closed. You can see it has offered a very nice support area as well for this break and bounce. We also have had, so this was a confirmation as well. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we've had sort of a channel here as well, and you can see it has broken. So, and it came back and offered that support area for that channel, for the gap, and then also on the channel as well, it has offered a very nice support. So this was actually, could have been a very nice trade with these two big candles over here. And then obviously if you're looking for a more short-term sort of trade, placing your take profit at the tip of that, or the start of that gap. So you can see enter here on this nice candle, and then very strong, and then moving with a big candle to the open, and then closing. So this was would have been within 2 yeah, maybe 1.5 hours after this candle's closed. So very nice quick trade. So that would have been sweat-free as well. So very, very nice if you caught that. And then the last one we're going to be looking at is our WTI. So WTI and Brent tend to run sort of in a in link as well. So you can see at WTI we were talking with this consolidation area. So it has now broken through. We'll see what it's starting to go green. So we'll see it could offer as a support area as well to move further to the upside, continuing this very, very strong uptrend for WTI, and also Brent as well. As you would have known by now, it is in a very strong uptrend. So you just keep all these in mind. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, give us that thumbs up. Also, click the subscribe button and then click that bell icon to get notifications whenever we release new videos. If you want to get in contact with us, please do so. Our contact details will be provided down below in the video. Or if you want, you can go to blackbullmarkets.com, hop on live chat by clicking that little green button at the top that says live chat, and we'll get back to you. We're there on 24/5. And then if you prefer to contact us via email, please do so at support@blackbullmarkets.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and from everyone here at Black Bull Markets, safe trading.